Hey guys, thanks for coming by the channel. This will be my first YouTube video that I've done for Escape from Tarkov, and I'm looking forward to doing many more in the future. Before we get started, I just want to say that I stream on Twitch, 8 PM UK time every day. Usually we play Escape from Tarkov, as it's my main game right now. Today I'm going to be looking at the start of a series that I'd like to call post-wipe tips and tricks. There's a lot of information that I feel can be useful that a lot of players aren't privy to when a wipe hits. It's totally different to playing the game, say, 3 or 4 weeks after wipe. One of the biggest problems that a lot of people run into during this period is how to collect money to give yourself a nice buffer to buy the gear and weapons you need. I feel like there's no wrong answer to the question, how do I generate money when it comes to Tarkov? Everyone has their own routes and their own ways of doing things, and this is just one of mine. We're going to be looking at a couple more in the future, but I wanted to start with this one because it really is my favourite, in particular when a wipe hits. So the start of this route, you can see that I've entered just beside Ollie on the right hand side of the front entrance to the mall. As I'm going in here, I do see a player. He's fairly easy to take down. He has nothing but a pistol, albeit quite a good pistol. I take him out. There's a couple of scavs that I need to worry about as well, so I'm just keeping my wits about me. This is potentially one of the most dangerous parts of the raid in itself, especially with Interchange. There's a lot of potential for a fight at the start of the round in particular, as a lot of people are moving from their spawns to try and get inside. However, once you've got past that first couple of minutes, things get a lot quieter. The majority of the player base is going to be heading for the upper mall section, and that's really where this route comes into its own. This is a really low risk and decent profit route to run. Whilst routes on Shoreline, for example, can be a lot more lucrative, they're also a lot more risky. If you were to say go to the health spa in Shoreline and have a couple of keys, then yeah, you're going to come out with a lot of money, but you also might not come out at all. So I think this route is really useful for making sure that you come out alive. The first place I check is these tents, and there's a lot of action going on around me at the moment. What you can't hear in the video is that there's shots going on in Ollie up above me. There's also several footsteps, so I'm just trying to work out if they're on my level or above me. Once I realise they're above me, I feel comfortable moving on. I just take my time, don't rush through things, and make sure that nobody feels the need to come down and check if there's any players down here. The fact I have a silenced gun helps with this, and also that I'm not sprinting around like a bull in a china shop. I do see some blood on the wall there, which means another player has been by here. We do pick up his trail a little bit later in the raid, but I won't spoil things in that regard. So this is the first area we looted. We found a gun box already. There's also a green crate beside the tent itself, which I've just been inside of. Lastly, there's some tables inside the tent which you can loot as well. Sometimes they'll have little bits and bobs that you can grab. The MP153 in particular is a really solid gun once wipe hits. A lot of people are going to be running low level armor, and this can rip right through it. I won't go into too much detail on that, as I'm planning to do a video on this in the future, but just keep in your mind that a lot of scavs are going to have this gun, and it's very easy to grab it from them. So I'm coming up to generic ramp right now, and I'm just making sure to keep an eye on the ramp itself. I do hear steps above me right now inside of generic, so I'm just making sure he doesn't come down the ramp having found a valuable weapon inside of the safe or the boxes. There's a grenade box behind me which we've already searched, and I'm just making my way through the other known box spawns. The chances are, if you've been playing Tarkov for a while, you probably know about these boxes. Nonetheless, they can be lucrative. Sometimes you'll find AS Vals, AKs and the like in these boxes. Again, I'm just making sure that this guy doesn't come down the ramp itself, as I don't want him to sneak up on me while I'm looting boxes. As of yet, we haven't found any particularly valuable items, but later our luck takes an upturn and we do find some items that can fetch us a decent amount of rubles. Now, right here is where we pick up the trail of said player that I think I saw earlier when it came to the blood on the wall. This guy seems to have pushed forward, gone past the ramp and been cut down around this area, probably by the person I'm hearing in generic above me. So I just decided to grab the guns off him and move on once I've taken a bit of a look around to make sure there's nobody lurking in the shadows. This is a box that's a little bit off the route, so a lot of people miss this one. Pretty simple, it's just on top of the table itself, to the left as you're pushing down that alley past the ramp. I'm then going to get back on my route, and this box in particular that we're about to come up to is a really inconspicuous box. You've got no reason to spot it as you go by, and I don't think a lot of players know about this one. Just pull down the back of the truck and you've got another loot box in there. Again, still not found anything too valuable just yet, but that's about to change. We go through this area and I'm checking the tables just in case there's any gun spawns in the area. These tables can spawn AKs in particular. Some more loot boxes around the edge. I could choose to go up the escalator in front of me here into Goshan and towards the back of Goshan if I wanted to, but I'd have to fight quite a few scavs in Goshan itself, and then the chances are that I would bump into a player towards the back of Goshan. If you're playing solo in particular, there's a lot of angles in that area to cover, and it's very easy for a player to jump you, I find. Here my luck takes a little bit of a turn. I'm coming across some more weaponry, which is going to be useful when we head out. And you can see that my bag is already starting to fill up. I take the stock off this AK just to make myself a little bit more space. I think that's something that I do quite often, maybe a little tip that you guys can use in the future. I'm also picking up little bits and pieces just to fill my coffers, as it were. This next section is quite a high traffic zone. You're just underneath IDEA. There's an escalator on the other side of us right now which leads up to IDEA itself. There is a box behind said escalator which I'm not going to search in this video because we feel like our loot bags are already full at this point and it's probably just best that I head out. These couple of tents used to spawn the Kiba key. Now that has been changed to Goshan. So I don't stick around here too long because there are still players that will come down here who aren't aware of this change just yet, or just people that are looking for loot in these gun boxes. This is where my luck really increases. I get an AK in one box, and just inside this one I find something even better. I try to make the room where I can to store all of this, but inevitably I do have to drop something to make the space I need here. I choose to dump the shotgun and go for an AK. If this was post-wipe, I probably would have opted for the shotgun instead, because that can shred people when they have low or no armor. Now it's time to leave. I know where I'm headed, I've got the northwest exit, and I've orientated myself so that I can come out on this side of the mall in particular. The exit to my left takes us out just in front of IDEA, which is directly opposite from the northwest exfil. Again, I could choose to loot some other boxes here. There is one under the escalator on my left. I've also got the potential to go to IDEA if my bags aren't full yet, but this would increase the risk of the loot run quite significantly. I just checked for a couple of med items inside of the ambulance, which again can be really useful on post-wipe. It's always worth checking those ambulances if you need meds, as I don't believe you get access to meds until level 2 therapist, unless you trade a duct tape for a car first aid kit at level 1, so something to bear in mind. Again, I do want to stress that there are a lot of different ways to make money, and this is just one of those, but I feel like the video itself that I'm putting behind this audio really does show how low risk this can be. All I've done is dropped a bare PMC with a Glock 17 and 2 scavs in this raid. As we're moving towards Exfil, there's one last location which I can check just in case I've got a little bit of room in my bags. I don't have room on this occasion, but I wanted to highlight it just in case you guys find yourself in this situation and your bags aren't quite full. The porta potty inside of the construction area that I've just looked at does spawn an MP153 shotgun. It's worth picking up, especially after wipe. We're now at exfil, so we get out of the raid nice and safe, and it's time to sell our loot. Once the game loads, you can see I've only had to get 3 kills. Again, really low traffic, really low risk, and everything I'm about to sell comes to a nice value. Again, whilst I could have made more money in somewhere like Shoreline, it's also a lot higher risk. Altogether, we come out with about 5 guns, 6 guns, suppressors, and some scopes. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this is useful to you. If you want to catch my Twitch stream, again, it's twitch.tv/MrAtomicDuck28. I play every day at 8 PM UK time. Take care, guys.